My friends, what in the world did Kyle Dubas just do for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Today we are talking about 23-year-old forward Ville Koivunen, because of the news posted earlier today that the Penguins have signed RFA Koivunen to an 8-year contract. 8 years? Oh my goodness, man. And the dollar amount that he ended up signing for, 8 years, $4 million a season. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. That's $32 million. $32 million total. And I get it. We're looking at banana contracts in the NHL now. 18 million per season, 17 million per season, 15 mil per season. 32 might not seem like that big of a deal anymore. Until you realize Ville Koivunen has only played a total of 47 NHL games. Yeah, he's still raw. I am so sorry. You signed who? For how long? This is either going to be a steal or the worst contract in the NHL. I feel like there is really no in-between. Ville Koivunen is 23, 6 feet 172, a left-handed forward who was drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes in the 51st overall spot in 2021. I remember in his draft-eligible campaign, Koivunen was seen as one of these under-the-radar guys who had some really good advanced analytics, and it's why he was taken by Carolina, of all teams, right? We always talk about Carolina and their analytics-based scouting and their emphasis on the finer details and just going beyond the eye test. Ville Koivunen was one of these guys that was definitely reminiscent of that mold. But he found himself in Pittsburgh in what I believe was the Michael Bunting trade, if I'm not mistaken over here. Look at all the times this guy had gone up and down from Pittsburgh to the AHL team. But the trade, which saw him get sent over to Pittsburgh in the first place, was indeed that Michael Bunting trade, which included Ponomariev, Lucius, and a bunch of other stuff over here. Gensel, Ty Smith, yeah, that was a really, really big deal, eh? But Koivunen, over the next few years, was up and down between the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins and the regular Pittsburgh Penguins. He was on loan to Kärpät, where he was a sub-point-per-game player in the Finnish Liga at 21 years old. He had 7 points in 8 Pittsburgh Penguins games in 24-25, but then he had 7 points in 39 Penguins games in 25-26. So he went from a very good opening sample to being a point every, 6 games or so? Not necessarily the best, but still, he was there. He was reasonably good to stick around for half the season. And in the AHL, he was legitimately a beast. 41 points in 34 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins games, and 9 points in 15 games in the AHL playoffs. Not bad, honestly, but still a guy who is poised to break out at the National Hockey League level. The fact is, though, he hasn't done that yet. Ville Koivunen is still raw. He is still trying to break out as a Penguin that deserves to be on the Pittsburgh Penguins roster for 82 games. And so when you see a guy who is literally an NHL tweener, not only getting an 8-year contract, but getting an $8 million contract, oh my goodness, man. Top Reply goes out there and says Kyle Dubas is actually a moron, LMFAO. Probably the only questionable move during his tenure in Pittsburgh. Yinzer in OK says that the U26 buyout window will make it a low-risk signing. Okay, yeah, I mean, U26 buyout window allows you to buy out the contract for a lot cheaper of a price. But he's 23 years old. There are 3 years left before Ville Koivunen is beyond the U26 window. You also talk about some of the other replies here. Somebody will call this signing smart. You might be the moron. It's a low-risk, nothing signing. If he works out, it's a steal. If he doesn't, then the buyout is $200 to $400 per year, which is nothing in today's NHL. You know, if it is $200 to $400 per year, I can see why you can use the 26 window as justification for this deal. But at the same time, we live in an environment where NHL GMs, they try not to make bets that have low potential here. They try to do everything with the maximum upside possible. And if you fully believe that Ville Koivunen is the next best thing, then all the power to you. It's just even opening that door to having a buyout possible contract. The fact that we can even acknowledge that as an element of this deal is a yellow to red flag in and of itself, in my opinion. I mean, Ville Koivunen, no disrespect to this guy. I mean, if we go over to the Elite Prospects Scouting Report guide on Koivunen from back in the 2021 days, you can see that they had some pretty good number grades assigned to this guy. 4.5 skating, 5 for shooting, 6 for passing, puck handling, and a 6.5 for hockey sense. He was a B-graded prospect who had smarts and high-end skills. He's got a large box of other very projectable tools at his disposal. This report written by Lassi Ahl'Er goes over how Koivunen is a pretty good player. All he did was score. He led Karpat's U20 club in points. He led all first-time draft-eligible skaters in the junior league in scoring. And he finished second in scoring on Finland's U18 roster. In a setting not known for its quality, Koivunen's creativity with the puck was a beacon that drew every one of the elite prospect scouts' attention. You wanted to watch his games. His game is one of pure unrelenting skill and an attacking mindset to match. Koivunen wants the puck in his stick, he wants to be a game breaker, he wants to make something happen every shift. So most of the time he does that. He leads the charge offensively. He's not particularly concerned with what happens in the D zone. He'll make the perfunctory backcheck and occasionally float in and out of his team's formation, but mostly he is just waiting by the blue line, ready to fly the zone at a moment's notice. You can see Koivunen's proficiency in transition on full display in the dataset that Elite Prospects Director of European Scouting Lassi Ahl'Er manually tracked. Whether that skill will sustain itself in higher levels of competition is another matter. His handling base is projectable. What happens when Koivunen is in the offensive zone? He is a triple threat scorer, every bit as effective with his hands, his shot, and his playmaking. Now, this is a really great report that goes out there and holistically describes just the offensive ceiling that Koivunen has, but it feels like Kyle Dubas read this report, which is literally from 5 years ago, and said, oh, that's amazing. Let's sign this guy to an 8-year, $4 million AAV contract, even though he has only produced 14 points in 47 NHL games. Again, that's not the worst, but it's a big, big money deal. And for Koivunen, I don't think I've ever seen an AHL player get this much money this early on into his career without significant National Hockey League spending time. Like, yeah, he was amazing in the AHL. Is it guaranteed to translate to the NHL? No. Is it possible that it does? Yeah, absolutely it's possible. Absolutely. If Koivunen becomes a 60, 70-point NHL player, we could be looking at this deal as the best deal in the league. But the fact that we are so far from that gives us room to doubt. And as a result, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Ville Koivunen contract? 8 years, $4 million a season. Thoughts in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this. Is this going to age well? Is this going to age poorly? Is this buyout fodder in 2 years? And bye.